Sometimes, when you talk about a series long enough, you realize you've only ever scratched the surface. You might discuss the villains, the guest stars, or those iconic little quirks that made it stand out. But you never stop to properly talk about the episodes that really stuck with you. So, a while ago I gave my opinions on this classic show, but I never really spoke on my favorite episodes, and after a year I feel I've left it long enough. I've already said a fair bit about the good ones, and of course, the Cybernauts trilogy, which remains some of the finest examples of British sci-fi television ever conceived. But now, it's time to look at the ones that left a lasting mark. The ones that embody everything the Avengers was about: wit, danger, and style, all shaken, never stirred. So let's take a proper look at my favourites, shall we? Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Damon, and today we're diving headfirst into the shadowy, eccentric, and sometimes eerie world of the Avengers. Now, unfortunately, I'm unable to really go over Season 1, not out of dislike, but simply because it doesn't exist in full. The same problem as its sister series, Doctor Who. And Season 2, well, I started watching after Kathy Gale left. It doesn't seem fair to critique her episodes when they never appeared in the reruns on UK TV, and I only got around to watching them properly in recent years. I can absolutely see why Honor Blackman's take was revolutionary, strong, intelligent, and dangerous in equal measure. But since she wasn't part of my initial viewing experience, it wouldn't feel right to include her here. So we'll jump ahead a bit to the era that defined the show for many of us. Mrs. Peel's first season, there are a few episodes that tend to blur together, perhaps because they weren't rerun as frequently, or perhaps because the show's shift from spy thriller to surrealist fantasy was so bold it took time to adjust. But seeing as my favourite Emma Peel episode happens to come from Season 5, I can't really see that as a problem. And that episode for me is The Joker. Now, The Joker stands out immediately because it's one of those rare Steed-Light episodes. Diana Rigg carries almost the entire thing, and does it with effortless grace and steel. The moment you learn Peter Jeffrey is in the cast, you know you're in for something special. He's one of those actors who could make a phone book sound sinister, and he delivers a superlative performance here. Fans will later recognize him from Game, a Tara King episode, but we'll save that one for another day. The setup is deceptively simple, isn't it? Mrs. Peel is planning to visit an expert bridge player at his Exmoor estate, but, oh boy, a visit that quickly turns nightmarish. Now, as for Steed, he's found himself injured in a rather suspicious fall, so he can't accompany her on this little adventure. And before you know it, he's informed that a dangerous criminal known as Max Prendergast, or the Joker, has managed to escape from prison. It seems he might be targeting Mrs. Peel. Well, things are certainly heating up, aren't they? Things only grow worse when it becomes clear Steed's accident wasn't an accident at all. Meanwhile, at the gloomy country house, Mrs. Peel is greeted by Ola, her host's ward, whose unnerving manner puts you immediately on edge. She's the perfect mixture of odd, alluring, and dangerous, the sort of character this show did so well. And soon after Ola conveniently disappears for the evening, Emma begins to realize she isn't alone. From there, the tension escalates. A strange man arrives claiming to be out of petrol. There are sounds in the dark, and an invisible menace playing mind games. By the time the titular Joker finally makes his appearance, you're already half convinced this could easily tip into full-blown horror. So, meanwhile, Steed discovers that the Joker has been setting traps. And get this, one of them is a poisoned razor attached to a playing card. Tragically, it ends up killing his colleague, Major George Fancy, instead. Racing against time, and through the fog, Steed drives all the way to Exmoor to save Emma. He arrives just in time to face down one of the series' most, sadistic villains. The Joker first aired on the 29th of April 1967, and, interestingly enough, it's actually a reworking of an earlier Kathy Gale episode called Don't Look Behind You from 1963. The producers wanted a version that would play better for the American market, and so writer Brian Clemens retooled his own script, this time with the added polish of filmed production rather than videotape. And it shows. Everything about this version feels smoother, sharper, and far more cinematic. The lighting, the camera angles, and the haunting use of giant playing cards in the set design all add to the surreal, almost theatrical tone. What's remarkable is how The Avengers, a show known for its light wit and playful eccentricities, manages to veer so convincingly into gothic suspense. There's genuine unease in the quiet moments. Diana Rigg's subtle shifts in confidence as Emma realizes she's being hunted are masterful. Sally Nesbitt's Ola deserves special praise too. She's one of the most unsettling figures in the entire series, teetering on that edge between unhinged and malicious. You can't quite tell if she's a pawn or a willing accomplice, and that ambiguity is what makes her scenes so memorable. As for Peter Jeffries' Max Prendergast, he's a villain in the purest sense of the word. No grand world domination schemes or gimmicks, just a cruel, obsessive mind playing a deadly game. And the way he toys with Emma, cutting her photograph apart piece by piece, is far darker than anything you'd expect from the Avengers of that era. It's a rare episode that genuinely manages to feel dangerous. Technically, this version of the Joker surpasses its predecessor in almost every way. The cinematography by Alan Hume, who would later go on to work on Star Wars and the Bond films, gives the episode a striking cinematic feel, and Laurie Johnson's music underscores the unease perfectly. Brian Clemens' script remains taut, though arguably less hysterical than the original. It relies more on mood than outright shock. And, that's what makes it work so well. It's suspense done with class. All in all, the Joker remains one of the finest examples of how the Avengers could bend genres. It's part thriller, part psychological horror, and all style. The direction, performances, and atmosphere are spot on, and the absence of Steed only highlights how capable Emma Peel truly is on her own. It's unsettling, elegant, and quintessentially British. Everything the Avengers should be. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinion in the comments, where naturally I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.